So one of my brothers, when I started with this process, and he's like, you're just brainwashing yourself.
Yeah.
I said, yes, I'm brainwashing myself to win. Hello. Because most of us are brainwashed to lose. When we do the affirmations.
Yeah.
You're helping your brain to start looking for evidence of the things that support that thing that you desire or that goal that you have. You never fail until you quit. You keep trying. You must outwork your self-doubt.
Yo. Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. I am super excited because your fave is back. The last time you were trending for so many things, we had an episode and YouTube loves you.
Thank you, Dando.
The community loves
the
you.
community is friendly. Thank you.
It's like nearly 200,000 people are feeling you.
That's humbling. And thank you. Thank
And
you.
they're
Thanks to
saying,
you.
Bring her back, bring her back, bring her back. Well, she is back now. Are you scared I'm going to talk about cooking?
I'm like, you better not go there because, you can. I've made peace with it.
All right, so here's the thing, and here's the reason why she's back. A lot of people's dreams are dying not because they are failing in public, not because they've experimented or tried stuff and it didn't work, but a lot of the dreams are dying inside because the self-doubt is killing it before you even make the product. The self-doubt is killing that video before you post it. For some, before you even shoot it. The self-doubt is killing every idea that's passing through an entrepreneur. There are many people who were going to be entrepreneurs 10 years ago. The business never launched because for some reason, the biggest war and the biggest fight that they are losing is inside. When I say that, what stands out for you?
Many things, but just to keep it simple, is the same framework, remember? Think, feel, do, have. So we always go back to the thoughts. What thoughts are you entertaining? Because whatever you continuously repeat to yourself first,
You become.
It's that simple. Yes, there's other technical stuff, right? Why? The question you must ask, why? You go back to your thoughts. This morning I woke up thinking, people like me don't do this. This morning I woke up thinking, if I launch, I will fail and they will laugh at me. Those are the thoughts that are probably louder than the thoughts that are saying you did this and this and you were successful at it before.
Some people call it the negative voice, the little voice.
Yeah.
And they say the little voice screams louder than the voice of evidence,
Yes.
the voice of I can.
The
Normally,
voice of I can.
The I can voice is quieter.
And the question is why? Why is the I can voice quieter? Many things, but I can say conditioning. We've been taught to see negative things. You default to seeing what can go wrong before entertaining what can go right.
I was reading a stat around some time ago, before one coaching program, around negative thinking. And the human brain, research says we think about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts in a day, but 80% of those are negative.
Yeah. 80%, if not more.
Yeah.
Yes.
80% are negative, and it says 95% are repetitive.
Yes.
So which means some are stuck on negative thoughts 80% of the time and repeating them 95% of the time.
Reinforcing.
Which means you reinforce it.
Reliving, resuscitating them every single day, right? And it's not really your fault. It's not really my fault. Look at the news. What do they have every single hour? Telling you about a bus crash somewhere, telling you about someone stole something. How many times are they telling you of all the good things that are happening? Like me being here. I'm just saying, how many times do you hear of good things? Let's think about it this way. Most people have friends, a lot of friends, right?
Yeah.
But the quickest thing or the fastest thing that you want to share with your friends is when somebody did you wrong. How many times do you go to your friend and say, I have this dream of building this amazing business? How many times do you do that? Or going back and saying, I've got the most amazing child or the most amazing family. How many times do we do that? But we're so quick to say, oh, my boss, this. You see?
I like it. You know what you're bringing out there? Sometimes we assume that when I'm talking about the inner voice and the inner critic, it's always obvious. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes the inner critic is the one criticizing an achievement and a milestone that you've hit and saying, but everyone does this.
Everyone does it.
But this is normal.
It wasn't that difficult
It's
anyway.
not that deep.
Yes. Yes. And the environment, the people you're around reinforce that. They'll never tell you about all the good things you've done. But show up in a dress that's a little bit skew. You'll have everyone telling you how skew your dress is, misspell or mispronounce a word. Everyone will tell you. But they forget about all the other good things. So it's the conditioning.
So that's trivializing the good things that you're good at and that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Just minimizing
Yes.
their importance and their significance. And for others, it's really the criticism where you're saying, I'm not good enough, I'm shy, I'm useless. It reminds me of the last thing you said. You said, this is why affirmations don't work. And I always like the fact that people are aware of positive affirmations and not negative affirmations. And those work.
Those are more powerful because they keep being fed on autopilot. So you have to work harder to reinforce the positive ones. And then they start saying, oh, you have an ego or whatever. Think about it. Small kids. I love this. Small kids, babies, girls, boys. Oh, mommy, I'm so pretty. When you tell them they're so pretty. And then they say it to you. I'm a pretty girl. Most of us freak out, right? When you hear a small child saying, I'm so good, I'm so pretty. You're like, no, you can't say that. I know most people
you can say it to them. They can say it back. And
some can't even say it to them because we're scared they're going to get a big head.
ego.
Thank you. Isn't it? Isn't it? So it's the conditioning.
Explain what you were saying about the affirmations, though, because some people were asking that you said this is why affirmations don't work.
Yes, because remember, so our brains have many parts, and I won't get into the technicalities of it, right?
Yeah.
There's many parts that activate when certain things happen. Ne? I hope that's not complicated.
No, I'm listening and capturing so I can summarize.
At the end,
well.
yes. So your neural pathways are enforced through emotion, attaching emotion and movement. So there's a way that you can do your affirmations so that they automatically, or they have a better chance of landing in your brain.
Okay.
And science has proven it's repetition with movement and emotion. So if I'm saying I am a billionaire, there must be a feeling attached to being a billionaire, a feeling that feels good. Then it's easier to default to that, you understand? But if I'm saying something and the brain is like, the story is not balancing, it's going to check it out. It's going to delete, remember, the reticular activating system.
Yeah.
It deletes, it generalizes, it distorts to protect you because there's too much going on in the brain. Remember, there's a lot of things going on in the brain, and science tells us that there's a filter, the RAS, reticular activating system, that filters out so that you're not overwhelmed. You said how many thoughts are going on in your head.
Up to 60,000.
So it's like a lot. Né? So your brain has a default or a switch, RAS, that filters things out that it deems unimportant, things that are not relevant, you see. So when we do affirmations with emotions and movement, there's a greater chance that you
increase the chance. So basically, when you do affirmations that you believe and that your body feels this is true,
yes,
that's when they're working.
That's when they're working.
Because as long as your body feels like I'm a billionaire, you're lying.
You're lying.
It's gonna delete it the minute you're done with it.
Yes, out. You see, that's what's built into our brains, that filtering system.
So the way you step into affirmations that are aspirational is you grow, so that you grow to be the person that believes in that affirmation in the first place. Yes. You start to see yourself being that person.
So how do you do that? There's so many concepts in my head, and I'm really trying to keep it simple. So one way of doing it, so we've got the logical part of the brain, right? And we've got the subconscious part of the brain. That we know that's what controls most of our actions, right? So when you tell me something with your mouth, logically, yes, you believe it. But when you do something, that means subconsciously, you have enough faith to say this thing works, you see. So I sit and I say, I'm a billionaire, and I'm exaggerating. I'm a billionaire and I'm a billionaire. What other evidences are you going to collect to reinforce that?
So there's the belief, then there's the micro steps that you're taking to create evidence to say, this is true, this can happen, this is possible.
Yes.
Apply it to me. I wanted to do a podcast at this one point. I'll start from the time that I did decide that I want to do it. And I went and bought equipment, expensive equipment. like I went and spent.
Yeah.
Some stuff, I was even buying the wrong stuff when you realize when you have it that that YouTube video that said recommended this thing was trash.
Yeah.
This thing won't work for me. And there was a lot of school fees. So I bought a lot of equipment and I was so excited that I'm going to start, and I didn't start in 2 years.
2 years.
With the equipment.
Yep.
Because every time I'm trying to shoot, the little voice kicks in. What if you get no views? What if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if this fades? What if you struggle to get guests? Who's gonna come? Who's gonna want to come and talk to you?
Exactly.
Come on, you've never done this before. All of this kept coming, and I'm thinking of the processes that you're talking about, what the mind does.
Yeah.
Deleting, distorting, generalizing. And some people might miss it because we are coaches, so we understand this. I'll use deleting. I had been on radio for over 2 years. And when the negativity comes and you're thinking about starting a podcast, you know what piece of information you delete? The fact that you've done radio for 2 years.
Yes, absolutely.
I had the equipment. And you know what? The piece of information your brain will delete when the negativity is heavy? That you've got the resources to do it. Like you are lacking nothing.
Yes.
I coach entrepreneurs. I'd been in many rooms coaching entrepreneurs, which means if I want a guest who's an entrepreneur, it's like in an SMS I get 10 now.
Yes.
I don't struggle to get people who want to talk to me on a podcast. But the brain, when this negativity is alive, it will delete that. Entrepreneurs, they actually like you. They want to talk to you. They will want to be on your podcast. Delete.
Yes.
So when the little voice and the negativity is heavy on you and you keep in that cycle, you can delete all the resources, all the experience, all the knowledge that you have to pull it off. You can delete all the evidence that actually, because of all of this, you can do it.
Yes. It's not automatic. So that's where the neuroencoding comes in. That's where the coaching comes in, because you need someone or a process to strengthen that which is automatically weaker because of what we spoke about, right? Because remember, your brain is there to protect you. So I'm safe when I'm not out there and risking the chance of them being negative, judging me, and failing. Because remember, when you put yourself out there, when you put up that sign to say, guys, I'm selling this thing, I'm running a business, you are exposing yourself. They may not come. And that is what? Rejection.
Yeah.
And outside,
which is scary.
Remember, rejection is one of the most primary fears for human beings. Because for us, rejection may mean death. Because if you're excluded or you're excommunicated from a community, that's loneliness. In the olden days, apparently, it was
death.
You're alone. You don't have a support system, you see. Today, we still know people are depressed because they're alone. People don't want to be alone. You know, it's a real threat. So we don't take it lightly. So your brain says, woo, they're going to judge you. They're going to reject you.
They will reject you.
So it's a form of survival. Now, that's a fact. I'm not denying that. All of us have to push through that.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So if, say, you and I hadn't met, and someone says, oh, there's this lady, she lives in Limpopo, whatever, her name is Phuti, and oh my goodness, she's such a horrible person. Such a horrible person. She did this, that, right?
Yeah.
That's the frame you have of me. And then you get to know me, despite your senses that she's a horrible person. And then you get to know me and see certain things for yourself, which are different.
Contradictory.
That places what? Doubt on that fact. That person was telling you facts in their mind. That places doubt, right? So doubt is the first step where you sort of question that fact. You see? So where I'm going with this, that story that you were telling yourself, I'm not good enough, they're not going, just say something, catch it and replace it each time it comes up. In the first few days, it will come up 100 times. Catch it, replace it. No, they won't reject me. Oh, no, I have the resources to manage. You understand? So you catch it and replace it. Do it all the time.
Funny, that's what I did to actually even get started. I did get encouragement to start, obviously, but I want you to think about this in your example. Someone taught me that if you're starting, you actually don't want people to view your videos. You want like 10, 20 views because you're not good yet.
Yes.
That hurt, but I processed it well because I thought, okay, right, fine, you're starting. So you really are starting. You're not that good. I didn't take it personally. I thought, because they say, imagine if you're starting and 1 million people watch that video, the trolls, you will not recover from them. So you actually are good. The process works in that way. So I thought, you know what, let me start. And I started. But I wasn't getting the views. And in 2 months, I quit. So now the negative voice comes back to say, I told you so.
I told you, there's evidence.
Now you see, they're not watching.
Yes.
You're spending 4 hours to record this thing. No one is coming. Look. Look. Open your analytics.
It's a fact.
Now we have facts.
Yes.
And that was like step 2, to have to bounce back from.
Yeah. And what got you to that point where you bounced back? Because you again said, you know what? Because deep down, you know, this is your calling. I mean, I don't want to spiritualize. This is your calling. You know it, right? So you know somewhere, somehow you and that is why for other people, you know, for people listening, that is why when you see that job advert, right? Say there's nothing wrong with your current job, but you see that advert and you're like, you know what? I can do this. You see, if you have the courage, you carry on, you put in that application and you hope for the best, right? But other people, they know they're good. They know that job they can get. But their courage is not louder than the negativity. And that's just that whole cycle that all of us have to work with. So to what you were saying, I have a saying from a lady called Leila Homozi. And she says, you must outwork your self-doubt. So you now come with the counter proof to say, okay, they're not coming. Let me try something else. Maybe they'll come. Or I'll keep doing it until they come. Obviously within reason. You know, those businesses that have never made a cent and this person has invested over 15 years. It means people don't want that solution. At least not yet.
Yeah, I like the within reason part. Yes. Because it doesn't mean this is going to be true for everyone.
Yes.
You really have to look at your situation for what it is.
For what it is. But I think key becomes what? Outworking, literally. That we all have self-doubt. All of us. People who you see talking on stage, it's not like they don't have, I'll say the nervousness is not there, the nerves are not there. But what do? You push through that. And the more you push through that, you're reinforcing in your brain the neural pathways to say, hey, I've done that before. So think of it this way. If you can imagine tall grass, right? Tall grass, no one's ever walked down this path. And you take the courage from wherever and you walk down that path, right? There'll be a few footsteps and showing the way.
Yeah.
Maybe after a few days they'll go back up, depending if no one comes back. Say you go back again. You walk down the same path. You see that those footprints you've made are starting to be stronger and you keep doing it. And by the time, maybe, I don't know how long later, people say, oh, there's a path down here. we can take it. That's how it is in your brain. Those are the neural pathways. The more you reinforce and the more you find the evidence, despite the facts, that's one way.
So it's scary. I like the crass example. So it's scary when no one has gone that path. It's scary when you haven't gone that path. Yeah. And even after you walk it the first or the second time, the fear doesn't always go away immediately.
Yes.
I like it because I remember even Oprah said something like this. It says, the one thing that shocks me in my career is even when I was winning awards, there were times when I was feeling like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm trending everywhere, but alone, before an episode or before some guest comes, I'm feeling the intimidation and thinking, I'm not good enough to pull this off.
What's that? Imposter syndrome. A lot of high achieving people experience it. It's there. So now the training becomes just making sure that you feed the other voice more. And that means going out of your way to feed that other voice. You see,
to feed your faith.
To feed your faith. So there's something I heard many years ago. If you've got two dogs, a lot of people can relate to this. You've got two dogs. You take the one dog, you put it outside. Outside, it's not allowed in the house. Every time it comes in the house, you know how people do to
you
dogs.
Keep it outside the house.
You feed it once a day, one bowl of water, one bowl of food, and if the food is done, the food is done, right? And then there's dog number 2, your favorite one. You bring it in the house, you buy it the fancy food, you pet it every single day, you know. Now what's going to happen to the outside dog? It's probably not going to be as strong. It's weak, it's mangy, you know, it's got probably ticks and lies and all of that. The inside dog is what? Is healthy. It's a nice looking dog. You take it everywhere, you see. And if these dogs were to get into a fight, most probably, I'll tell you what one other guy said one time. I was doing a seminar and I asked a question. Most probably the stronger dog will win.
Yeah.
It will, right? Because this one is weak, it's mangy, it's tired, maybe doesn't even have confidence. You see that? That's just how it is with these two voices in our heads. Which one are you feeding more? Right. One seminar I did.
Which one are you keeping outside?
Outside, yes. So it's there. The two dogs will always be there, right? Just get over that. They'll always be there. Which one are you entertaining the most?
I like it. I think I can make it make sense by saying the two are fear and faith.
Yes,
sir. So which one are you feeding
So
the
one
most
guy
in your seminar?
This guy says, no, the outside one, because it's hungry. It's angry. It will fight and beat. But it's not a lie. It's not a lie. But long term, if you're doing things out of hunger and hate and anger, usually that's not sustainable. Because there's something else pushing that. You understand where I'm going? Usually if you're achieving things to show them, I want to show them. That's why we get people now when your first million you make, you're just showing off. There's nothing wrong with buying nice things, but you're buying them so they can see you. You're buying them so, it's a good energy, but that cannot be the dominant driver, because now you're angry, you're bitter, you're boisterous. That's where ego and arrogance come in, because the intention or the underlying motivator is not positive. You see, there's a difference.
So speaking to those two, feeding your fear and faith, you were asking how I was bouncing back and how I came back.
Yeah.
Because I'm a coach, I know there's processes. And it's funny because even if I was a coach during those 2 years, by the way.
Yeah.
So that procrastination is happening when I know all of the stuff. It doesn't make me exempt from the negative voice screaming that, hey, chill, bro, this won't work. Stick to your coaching.
Stay away.
It's working here. Why do you want to disturb things and stuff? It helps when you talk to people that build your faith and say, actually, you can do this.
Yeah.
I see you doing it this way. I see you talking to this person. I see you speaking about this. When you were teaching about this, we really enjoyed. I wished that was recorded. Someone could have benefited. Yes. Now, the more these voices keep coming, the more I start to question the questioning and creating the doubt. Why? I'm now doubting the doubt. Why am I doubting that it won't work?
Yes, because it's remember what you see more often, what you hear more often, what you're feeding. So one of my brothers, when I started with this process, and he's like, you're just brainwashing yourself.
Yeah.
I said, yes, I'm brainwashing myself to win. Hello. Because most of us are brainwashed to lose. You see, so I really, I put in a lot of work, as a coach. And look, as coaches, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
We just have certain tools that most people don't have. And that is why, as a coach, we mostly have other coaches.
Yeah.
And our coaches are people who've gone before us, who've gone on that road, that grass, they've walked that path. So it becomes easier. There's other roads or other avenues that we are going to have to lead those paths. And that's just life. You need to be balanced. Otherwise, you're going to become this self-made whatever. No one is self-made. No one is self-made. Somebody opened that door for you. Somebody paid attention to you. Somebody gave you something.
Taught you something.
There is no self-made anything. I don't agree with that, you see. So as coaches, we're human beings. We go through the human nature things that are built into us. The question is, what tools do we have in our box to overcome?
I gave an example of the deletion process in the brain and how it sustained the negativity with me being afraid to start a podcast. The other two we didn't really speak to, the distortions and the generalizations. How do you see those two helping someone? Actually, no. How do you see those two increasing the chances of self-sabotage? Which means because of these two, you sustain the negativity.
Because of the distortion and the generalization.
Yeah.
Yes. So generalization is like, you see, nothing you ever do works. Say your first podcast. Nothing you ever do works. Is that even true?
Well, so the one podcast fails, and
now
because of
nothing.
it, you assume all the podcasts that you're ever going to do are going to fail.
Or even nothing you ever do works. Isn't that what we say? Oh my gosh, my life is such a mess. Really? The one aspect of your life is probably not good.
There's 10 other aspects.
There's 10 other things. And this is the work that we do. We're now collecting the evidence that this will work, the evidence that I'm a good person, the evidence that I'm a winner. You have got to do that work at the very least. Okay? The distortion is now...
Wait, pack that. I like this one because what you're saying is it might not work in one part of your life or in one event. Generalization is you allowing your brain to trick you to say, I will fail in this way everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just like someone who says, I'm shy,
yes,
until I ask them, are you shy when you're talking to the people at home? They realize, no, I'm not shy there.
Yes.
Are you shy when you're
see.
alone, dancing, partying, whatever?
See.
You'll start to see, actually, I am only shy in this context.
Yes.
In other areas, I'm not shy. Or failing at someone. I like the example of failing a trick. And someone says, I will always be a failure.
Yes.
But you start to expand their view of life to
Yes.
say, in your life, there is your health. Because you failed this subject, are you going to fail at your health? No.
Yes.
You failed this subject, are you going to fail at selling? There's no connection there.
Yes.
You failed the subject, are you going to fail as a family person? Like family woman, you
Yes.
realize, actually, no, man, this is just a subject.
Yeah. So the quickest way to catch and replace the lie, quickly find the alternative, fast. Don't even allow it 3 seconds in your brain. Yes, the first few times it'll take you, maybe you'll forget, like, oh, I can actually catch and replace. And then after a while, it just feels odd when you start saying negative things to yourself or staying too long on a negative thing. One guy once told me, I once heard a preacher say, he said, offense is an event. I can step on your toes now, maybe by mistake or on purpose. I did it once. Offended is a decision. Because now each time you see me, you remember me stepping on your toes. Each time you see me, you keep resuscitating that and building that and strengthening that and strengthening that. You see?
And the negativity stays.
It stays.
And it gets reinforced.
We keep
and
revisiting
more and more powerful over time.
We keep revisiting it and we keep revisiting. They stole from you 15 years ago, your first business. But you keep going back to that. You know, my first business, they stole from me. The people have been scammed. It's painful. It's devastating. Find a way to get back up, unfortunately. Is that the end of your story? You decide. There is never failure. And these things we hear a lot, and they're cliches we think. But if you think about what we're talking about, they're real. They're real, and we need to take them seriously. You never fail until you quit. You keep trying.
Talk to distortion.
Distortion means, anyway, people like me, where I come from. Who do I know from where I come from who's ever run a successful podcast? That's a lie. Distortion just means you're lying. You're taking something and you're warping it so that it fits your reality. That's what distortion means.
It's creating a movie that doesn't exist.
It's creating a movie that doesn't exist, and you keep going there and going there. Remember, and these filters do what? They create your reality. So it's the reticular activating system, right? Filters. So you know the exercise, I'm sure. If I tell you, or to our community listening,
yes.
If I say to you, do this exercise, close your, look around the room, 5 seconds. Look around the room and find something. I'll say a number. Find something that's blue. Look around quickly. Note the things that are blue. Right? Sharp. Now close your eyes. Okay? I want you, and tell me, isn't it you counted the things that are blue, I suppose? Now close your eyes. Please tell me how many things are red. Chances are you don't know. Because
you were looking for blue.
You were looking for blue. So your brain was like, okay, blue, 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 blue. Red is there. Red is there. You are not looking for red at this time. And that's what the filtering system does. So when we say outwork your self-doubt, you're helping your brain, or when we do the affirmations, you're helping your brain to start looking for evidence of the things that support that thing that you desire or that goal that you have.
Let's reframe it in a way to really say your point. It's like the look for blue, now look for how many are red.
Tell me how many are red.
When your mind is focused on the things you hate about your life, the things you don't like about your life, the things that might not work, the things you lost, you are focused on what you don't want. Your brain feels like this is the reality that we are living.
Yes.
And the whole time you're spending 10 hours thinking about these things, you have not looked for it.
You haven't looked.
You haven't told your brain, this is what we are looking for in our life.
It's not magic.
Yeah.
It's science. It's not magic. The red has probably always been there. Your brain was not trained to look for it or even see it.
So which means if you don't have goals, you're not training your brain to look for anything that you want.
They will tell you what your brain must look for. Because remember, you were living in an environment, in a system. The system will tell you what to focus on. You understand? Which is usually negativity. I'm now in my 6th year, probably, not watching the news. And remember, 6 years means during COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't care what the stats were. I just chose to not care. Protect yourself. You know what you need to do to protect yourself. And if it comes, it comes. I could not tell you what the stats were.
That's the advice I got when I was coming out of depression a long time ago. That just stay off the news or anything that makes you feel horrible about your life. And the person who was teaching me was Havek, actually. He was saying, trust me, if it's important, you'll find out
Thank
about
you, sir.
it. If there's anything in the news really important, it's coming to you one way or the other.
You will have to deal with it. What's the point of knowing who did what and all of that? I always use this example. A few years ago, the VAT rate was increased. Did they phone you and ask if
no,
if they can? They didn't. Even if you had missed it, fact is, the day afterwards you started paying 15%, which was, I think it was 1% more for whatever it is you were buying.
So I do watch the news, but I spread it out so wide.
It's as and when.
It's probably like a once in. Yeah, as and when. Do you catch highlights, see if there's anything popping? But
there's a difference. There's a difference. We know most are elderly, our gogos and our mummies there. Every hour. Every single hour. They're telling you a bus crashed, somebody stole every hour. What are you reinforcing?
I want to say one thing about distortion, and then we can close it off by how do we feed our faith. The distortion is, I think, of the three, all of them can be used to your advantage, by the way, which means I could use deletion. You can come say all negative things about me, and I could just delete this as soon as you walk away and say, oh yeah.
Yes.
Now, what are my goals, right?
Thank you.
Now I've deleted.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at the distortion example that I want to give, because some people don't see where it hurts them. The distortions, you create a movie that might not even be existing. In the old times, it was serving you because you hear the grass moving and shaking and stuff. It could be a lion. So you're thinking it's lion, snake. You've created that picture, and you get up, you run, you're active, you're ready. So that process is protecting you. We could be, let's say you're married and the partner says, I'm coming at 6, and they don't come, and their phone goes off. Now, distortions there, you're going to start creating a whole other movie by 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. the phone is off. Where are they? With who? Doing what? Now that distortion comes. By the time they walk in, you are livid.
And you have a horrible evening.
And you've had a horrible evening.
Yeah, and it continues to be a horrible evening because you're going to act out those thoughts.
Until someone comes in, tells you we had an accident, I lost the phone.
Yeah.
Then you realize how foolish you are.
Yes. So and that's such a real example that in some way or another have probably experienced. You're trying to phone someone maybe for a business deal, and they said, call me tomorrow at 10. And you call them tomorrow at 10 and they don't pick up, or their phone is off. You're like, yeah, they're ghosting me. You understand? And then, obviously within reason, then you give up. You're like, they're a scam. Isn't it? We're so used to that.
Yeah.
Versus where you say, you know what? I think maybe they were held up. Hopefully they'll call me back. And if they don't, tomorrow or later today, I'll try them again. You understand? You have a choice to choose. And I choose that they're probably held up. I'll try again. Do you see?
Someone chooses disrespect.
Yes. And someone says, yeah, yes, you know almost how we do these things. And I choose the other. What if they're held up? What if a meeting came up suddenly? And most times, what do? You call back or they call back. I'm so sorry. Our meeting ran over, or whatever the story is, most times. But when they phone to apologize or say something, you're like, they think they're that important. Because, isn't it? And by the time they call you, your energy is wrong. You're disrespectful to them. And then it's off.
And half the time, it's a movie and a story that you created. They know nothing about it. By the time you're shouting at them, they are wondering, what got into you?
What got into you? Yes, what happened to you? It's many things. And it's the conditioning. We have got to be careful with that. We're so used to thinking people who are watch the movies. Most movies that I've watched, if not all, the bad person is a rich person trying to exploit poor people, isn't it? So they've demonized wealthy people. There's evil, bad. There's evil and bad rich people. There's evil and bad poor people. It's there. You understand? So you choose your stories that you want to, I'm not going to say brainwash, that you want to make stronger in the noise that's forever present in your brain. It's your choice.
Live a life with a narrative that is more empowering. I think I like where you went with this, because the negativity is staying for many people because they are deleting critical evidence.
Yes.
They are distorting and they are generalizing facts.
Yeah.
And making rules that don't exist. Rules that don't empower them. Beliefs they never question.
Yeah.
How do I feed my faith and become a different person?
Yeah. You said something there. Beliefs that you never question. That's the doubt.
Yeah.
Is this really still serving me? There may have come a time in your life, unfortunately, where you had to fight for everything, where you had to fight for your place, where you had to force for people to see you because of whatever you didn't choose, right? But sometimes there comes a time where you no longer have to show up that way. But most people, when we say you have a chip on your shoulder, carry that into every single room, into every single relationship, into every single space, you see. Whereas when you do the work, right, you can say, is this really still serving me? Is it really still serving me? There could be a better way. And your job is to go look for the evidence to and these days, thank the Lord, with internet, the world is much smaller, right? You can just watch YouTube, Google the topic that you want, Google whatever it is of your interest, and you'll see people who are doing well in that. For example, in business investments, there's people who are doing extremely well in property. There are people who are doing extremely well in crypto, doing extremely well investing, trading. And there's people who've been scammed from property deals,
From
and
all
then
of
they
those.
never go back. They've been scammed. Do you see? So find the evidence to support this thing that you believe, and move into those circles to give yourself evidence that this thing works. Maybe the pattern that I applied at the time was obsolete or was faulty. You understand? Then we tweak, and we're always learning in life. And that's where personal development
I love
comes.
it. Find the evidence. Also find the people that are excelling in the area that you want to excel in, and become a student. What are they doing that's
What are they
working?
doing that's working? You see, what are they doing that's working? Something, it works. It may not be for you. Then there's a question where maybe crypto is not for me because my personality or my lifestyle, I'm too busy, so I can't sit there, whatever they need to do to maybe it's not interesting enough for me. Maybe property works best for me because you do the research in the beginning, you buy the right property at the right place or in the right place. You understand? You hire a managing agent and they take care of your properties, and that's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Or investing doesn't work for me because I'm lazy to look and read on the fundamentals of companies. What does your personality work with? Multi-level marketing. I know people trash it. I won't personally do it, but there's some people who are thriving in that because they love people. They have big crowds. There's people who are willing to listen to them. You see? So please, let's critical thinking is actually a skill, is a life skill.
It is.
Ask yourself, is this really the fact? So there's another process that we do where we allow you to place doubt on these beliefs that you've been carrying for so long. And you go through each of them and you ask, is that really true? Check it out. You do it. It's an actual process that you do. You understand? Are the beliefs that you've been carrying still serving you? And only you can answer that.
There's a difference between the goals for some people who listen to podcasts like this and set the big goals, goals that they could achieve, and the person that they are at this stage.
The gap.
The person that they are is not the one that can achieve those goals. They need to transform.
So we have a gap. That's the
There's
first
this
step.
Gap. And
It's an awareness.
you are coming back
to talk
answer
about that. The gap.
and close this gap.
We will.
How do I become the person that my goals require?
Are we going into
Next
that next episode? That's actually my favorite. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Because our work is to collapse that gap. Our work is to collapse that time through tools, through techniques, through neuroscience, using what you already have.
Last words for you, for someone who is struggling to feed their faith, because negativity can get to stages where it's beyond habitual. It graduates to anxiety, it graduates to depression, where it starts off as negative thinking, but it evolves to something that manifests physically. Now you are sick because of negativity.
It becomes your reality because your brain will search for that evidence. It will. It's just human nature. And that is why we have where, when we were growing up, there are certain people your grandmother would say, don't hang out with those people.
Yeah.
Because of that influence, isn't it? And
Yeah.
that's just how we're built. That's how we're built. So one word I can say to someone who needs to increase their faith,
Yeah.
switch off the news. I'm sorry. And I mean it. But by that, I just mean turn off the negative information. Turn it off. You can start by not listening to the news. You can start by challenging yourself every single day to find good news. Good news in your life, around your life. Do you understand? Start there. Try it for 12 days. Try it for 31 days, where you're just picking up good news. When you come back home, you write down one sentence of a good thing that happened. 31 days. That will change you.
So make October a good news month.
Thank you, sir.